We're learning to do Nishmas Etta, Ahuva, Yaakov, Bava Metzia, Perik, Beis, Mishna Ches, Matzah, Svarim, Kir, Behem, Achas, Shloimie Yomi. This Mishnah talks about finding objects that not only you mechuyev to watch them, you have to take care of them. So if the first example is if you found Svarim, Sifrei Tanakh, which are Asuyin Kegillion, like a roll, like our Sifrei Torah, so then Kir, Behem, Achas, Shloimie Yomi, you have to read from them once every 30 days. This way it opens it up and it won't get moldy. If you don't know how to read, so then goyla, and then you roll them from the beginning all the way until the end. If you had already learned the Tanakh, so then you can learn it. But the first parsha that you're learning Tanakh, that you should learn for the first time, because you're gonna have it open for too long. The Mishna Yomi brings b'shem the Ramban that's dafka by Sifrei Tanakh, where over there the first time you learn from it, so that's hard, and afterwards once you know it, it's not so hard. But bizman hazeh that we're knowing to write over Gemara, and by Gemara, someone who learned the Perik 100 times needs to learn even more. You need even more Ian, just like the first time or even more. And fakir, anyone who's more of a baki, he says, Sarach Ian Yoser Gadol b'halachas hatzrichen l'shmur shaloi. He has to learn even more. So then there would be no chilik between Yom B'tchila. The same way Yom B'hem B'tchila is Yom B'hem B'chal. You shouldn't, if you find the Sifrei Gemara, then you shouldn't learn from it. Lo Yikra Achar Yima, the Mishnah says you shouldn't learn it with someone else because one person's going to pull it this way and the other person's going to pull it the other way and it's going to rip. Matzuk sus. So that's by Svarim. The second thing now the Mishnah discusses is clothes. Let's say you found clothes. Menara Achas L'Shloimie Yomi, you should take it out once every 30 days because otherwise the moss will go in it and therefore it needs air. Yijafka could spread it out for the tzarech beged. If you're doing it for your own covet to show how much money you have, that you have these begadim, these fancy begadim, that you're not allowed to do. Kli kesav, kli nechoishes. The third thing that the Mishnah talks about is silver or copper. So over here, mishtamish behen l'tzar kan. Also, you should use it l'tzarech the beged. The reason is because the way to watch silver is to put it into the ground, and if it's the ground for so long, then it's going to get ruined. Don't use it too much because then it's going to get rubbed out. The fourth thing in the Mishnah is klizav, klizchuchis, gold and glass. So over here, leyiga behen, you shouldn't touch it at all. The reason is because gold could stay in the ground and nothing's going to happen to it, as opposed to silver. And glass, if you touch it, since it's easy to break, we're afraid that you're going to break it, and therefore you shouldn't touch it at all. Last halacha in the Mishnah is unrelated. Matzah sak kupa. If you found the bag or a box, it's not the derech for you to bring it in, which in the Mishnah, in the Gemara, this is called zakin be'ena lafich vayday. So then, harezel lo yitel, you don't have to take in. This is learned out because the way the pasuk says, forgetting in Aveda that you're not allowed to, the pasuk says v'salamta mehem, and we darshan that sometimes you are allowed to forget it. Sometimes you should not pick up the Aveda. You're not mechuyev to pick up the Aveda if you're a zakin, and it's not lefi your covet to bring this Aveda into bayis shamar, to a house that's watched. So then you're not mechuyev in hashavas Aveda. Mishnah tes ezeh Aveda. What is an Aveda? Matzah chamara para royim baderech. If you see them pasturing on the road, either a donkey or a cow, einzu aveda. We said because that's like derech chinuach, and you're not supposed to pick it up. Chamar v'kelef hafuchim. But if the kelim are upside down, para ratza bein akram, and the cow is running between the vineyard, then harezu aveda. Then it is aveda, and you're mechuyev to return it. Next halacha, chziru barcha fila arba v'chamisha pamim. If after you return it, it runs away again, chayv lachzir, you still mechuyev to return it. Shenemar hashev teshivim. Gemara explains it's really from the word hashev is afilu meya pa'amim. Teshivim tells me something else, that even if you return it to his chorva or gina, that's also considered hashava. Finally, the last halacha in the Mishnah, someone had a job that he used to make 4 sela. By sitting and doing nothing, let's say he would make 1 sela, but by returning this aveda, he's going to lose out his 4 sela, so he has a right to say that I want to at least get paid the amount that it's worth it to me to take a reduction in salary to do less tircha, which let's say is 2 sela, and he would get that. Im yesham beis bezin, and if there's a bezin, massive ifni bezin, he could tell bezin, I only want to do it if I get my 4 sela. And ain't sham bezin, if there's no bezin, ifnei miyaseh, if no one's there, he has no one to make this tonight, and shaloi kaidim, that he's not mechuyev to return the aveda.